I don't know what happened.
So the guy probably isn't drunk anymore and he's gonna go try to capsize us. So I would get our boat a little bit further from him.
Wait, is it already done?
Yeah, I capsized
I
it.
have the splash.
Oh,
That was the splash
got
button.
it.
Yeah, you already capsized them, and I was describing it, and then I saw my computer
Oh,
tell me
we
that I
didn't.
lost
Oh,
connection
yeah, we
for a
didn't
bit.
hear any of that.
Yeah, I know. Like even Roll20 gave me
DM has
a
finished.
a red pop up that says you seem to have lost connection to Roll20 servers. So um, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, so he fell into the water, and you can see him like fighting to climb back on the side and just grabbing on the wood of his overturned rowboat, while trying desperately not to let go uh, of his
Fishing pole?
fishing pole. Yeah,
I'm gonna reach over and grab the fishing pole out of his hand.
Jeff, you're actually gone. Oh, Jeff, you're back. Yeah, because he wrote he's not hearing anything, and then I realized he's not actually in the call.
For some reason it messed
Oh.
up and I couldn't hear you for the last minute or so. I was like, why can I not hear him? The DM went silent.
Okay,
But
okay.
he actually did go silent, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I lost internet for like 10 seconds, I guess.
Guys, that fishing pole might be enchanted.
I'm gonna just grab the fishing pole out of his
Should
hand
we
and
just
chuck
like
it into
pull
the
him?
water.
What?
Uh, y-
Stop! No, you know what? I'm not gonna let Azzy do that. You're
It's
just
too
doing
late, I
your own
already
thing
did.
right now. No, I want to know what
Yes!
the hell is up with this guy. I want to check the pull and try to pull him with us.
so,
He's literally
Ozzy,
gonna let me
you
pull him.
didn't already do it, but you are in the process of doing it, and Nisa, do a dexterity check, dexterity save intro, to see if you're able to prevent him from doing whatever it is that he's about to do. Actually, I didn't really hear you correctly. What did you say you wanted to do?
I want to. If he's not letting go of the pull, I want to grab the pull and pull him with us to shore.
Okay, and Ozzy, what was it that you said you wanted to do?
I'm going to pull the fishing pole out of his hand and just chuck it right into the.
And throw it. Okay. So you grab the fishing pole. Do a strength check, please, because he's not gonna let go of it. Not easily.
Does
You seem strong, Ozzy. You seem strong. Um. So yeah, you just yank it out of his hands, and you go to chuck it out onto the lake, and as it leaves your hands, Yaila jumps and grabs it from the air before it falls into the water.
Now I'm going to grab him and pull him onto our boat.
Okay, easy enough. You can see him pretty angry and just looks at you and just stays silent and just bows his head in defeat.
Is he on our boat now?
On one of the two boats. I have no idea who is on which boat, actually. Sorry.
Alright, I'm gonna like um kind of tether his boat to ours. Does somebody ever
I mean,
I
what's the
would
point?
think
The
it's
boat, the
upset, right?
boat is flipped upside down.
back? Boats don't just stay upside down. They when you
Yeah, but
capsize.
why? Why do you want the boat?
I don't want to leave this guy's boat in the middle of the lake. There's no reason to. We could just row it back to the harbor or back to the.
Harder to bring back. Just say.
It doesn't actually matter for the story, so we'll just go with you grab the.
The
You
other
argue for a
guy was
second, and then Ozzy just grabs the boat and ties it to his own. And you're all rowing back to shore?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
just saying that I grabbed the fishing pole, but I didn't just keep it in my hand. I threw it in the boat that I'm at,
Okay.
and then whatever. And I asked Cleve to check if there's any magic in
Okay.
Okay, on the row back, I'm gonna
On the
refill
row
this.
back, you do that. In the meantime, you can actually see Arabelle, which is a crappy image that they put here, but it doesn't matter.
it. This is as creepy as
Yeah, they basically took there's like an image of all the Barovian people, and they just took random shots from that image and they put it to for individual people.
Wait. I was messing with my mod and I missed some. happened? Where did this lady come from?
That's Arabelle. That's the kid.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Arabelle just says, "Stupid man," and she spits into Bluto's face.
I haven't
Um,
questioned her yet, right? And do I know if he or she or anybody in the vicinity is undead yet? It's been a minute.
yeah, it's been over a minute. You don't notice any undeads in the vicinity, not in the
Okay.
lake. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna question Arabelle now. Like what the hell?
Do we want to question them in the middle of the lake or when we get back?
Let's go back to shore.
Okay.
We need to get back to the castle to question.
So Arabelle is currently like squeezing the water out of her clothes and just sighing. And suddenly she jumps up and starts pointing towards the other side of the shore. Says, "Look, look!" And you can see there's um, a an elk. Uh, Give me a second.
Elk?
Um,
Yeah.
how do you say it? Like
Elk is the right word.
yeah, you know, like the animal,
Deer?
right? Yeah, something like that. So
Elk?
yeah, so a huge elk that is peeking out of the forest and looking towards the lake, watching you. And as she's pointing at it, look, look, it just turns around and enters back into the forest.
Can I like project to it? Like wait?
I don't
Am I too
think
far?
that you could. You would need to basically speak with animals or something like that and be close enough.
It doesn't
It's
seem weird though. It's just an animal in a forest, and it's a child noticing an animal. I wouldn't really think much about it. Of it.
I do. I love animals.
okay. Um, and so she says, "Oh wow, did you see that? It was so huge. I bet it's the Mad Mage."
The what?
The what?
The math mage?
Mad
The mad
Mage.
Oh, that makes more sense.
What's the
Yeah.
mad mage?
I don't know. We just hear rumors of a mage living in the forest there. And he can take all sorts of shapes and forms, and he's he's amazing.
I see. What happened? What? So how did you end up?
What? You cut off there. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
What did you say, Dylan?
I asked her what happened. How did she end up in the bag in the boat?
It's that ugly man. I was looking in the forest for something, and he grabbed me and took me to his home. Just tied me up, and in the morning he dragged me all the way to the lake. He thinks I'm some good luck charm or something. Kept mumbling about not being able to find any fish in the lake.
You've never seen this man before?
I don't know him. Why would
Why aren't you
I?
more upset?
What?
Why aren't you more upset?
I knew you'd come.
What
I
are you
just
looking
didn't know
for in
you
the
would come
forest?
so late.
What do you
Well,
mean
how
you
did-
knew we particularly would come?
I had a dream.
A dream about us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to sidebar and say she had a dream on Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
It's getting very
No.
toxic.
I think my question kind of got buried in the
adventurous
sea of
party.
exclamations, but I asked her, what were you looking for in the forest?
Oh, that was also part of my dream. I had a dream that I was, in camp. Then there was this light coming from the forest. Then I went to look for it. and then I saw this, like it was like a sun. Can you all hear me, or did it cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the sun, yeah.
And it was like a sun buried in the forest. Can you imagine? And I grabbed it, and then there was like blinding light all around me, and then I saw you, like 7 shadows, like silhouettes cutting through that light, and one of them had a hawk, or like
Seven
some, yeah.
Seven
shadows.
silhouettes.
What?
You cut out
You cut out
after seven
after
silhouettes.
Yeah, like 7 silhouettes that cut through that blinding light, and there was a hawk on one of the silhouette's shoulders. That and they all came towards me, and I gave them that sun, and and I woke up, and I was looking for it. I was going to look for the sun in the forest, but then this ugly man came, and he threw everything like in jeopardy, and but I knew you'd be coming, and so I was waiting for you.
Do you
Did you get the
often
sun?
have? Sorry.
Did you get the sun?
No, I didn't have time. I was still looking for it though.
Well, let's go back to your dad, and we'll see if we
Do
can
you
find
often
the sun.
have?
My dad, he must be so worried.
There. Do you often have dreams like this?
Sometimes, not often, sometimes. But yeah, sometimes. And then I have the dream, and then like a day or two after, whatever I dreamed of, it would happen. Yeah,
You cut
yeah,
out.
yeah.
You cut out. It just and then I had the dream, and that's it.
Yeah, my God, it keeps giving me like red in Discord. It's really pissing me off. I thought it was all
It really
fixed,
is
but
very weird.
yeah, I don't know.
It was fine for the first part of the session.
Yes.
Is it working any better?
Ah, God. Okay, so back into the character. All right. It's the I have. Oh fuck! What were we saying?
I asked if you had a lot of dreams like that, and you said, "And I had that dream," and I don't know what you said after that.
No, I had that dream, and then sometimes I also have dreams like that, but it doesn't happen often. But like I would have the dream, then a day or two after, the dream would happen for real, and so I knew that was the kind of dream. So yeah,
Oh, you can tell.
yeah, those dreams are kind of weird. Like you could feel if they're different. They have some sort of magic in them, and yeah. So I knew I'd find the sun, and you would find me, or I would find you. But yeah.
Is there anything that you know will happen soon?
And she stays like that for like 5 minutes, just trying to think of something.
Okay.
Was there anything weird about the guy who took you? Did he seem off, like he was almost being controlled to steal you, and that not really?
He's Barovian, aren't they all weird?
Well, I mean that
Say-
is true, but even more weird than usual.
Cloud stinkers.
I don't know. I don't really mix with them. I usually
Did
just
he
stay at
hurt
camp.
you? Did he do anything to hurt you?
Just a little bit with the rope in my hands, on my wrist, but no. He didn't feed me though, the bastard. I'm hungry. You got anything to eat? I wanna eat. I wanna eat. I wanna eat. I wanna eat.
Yeah, let's go back. Your dad will feed you. Let's go back to your dad.
Okay.
Also, you said you were alone in the forest. Weren't you accompanied by someone?
Not really. Usually someone keeps an eye on me, but I didn't want them to see what I would find and take it, so I kind of slipped away.
Nice.
Do you know that you have visions?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of us have like the gift of seeing. Um, yeah.
Is there different kinds of gifts?
I don't know. I'm a kid. I don't know that stuff. All I know is I get those dreams, and they're fun. And sometimes I know what's gonna happen, and I tell my daddy, and he tells me what to do. And yep.
Those with the gifts tend to manifest it in different ways.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Got food? I want food. Give me some food. You have any food on you? I didn't eat since yesterday. Come on.
I love some wine too.
I
I do have vegetables. Let me
Oh.
see if
She
I might have
scrunches
some
her
veggies.
face up.
1 second.
have a piece of bread. I'll give her a piece of bread that I
That-
kept from the.
That guy smelled like wine. It was horrible.
I'm giving her my piece of bread.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Thanks. She grabs it and starts eating.
10 ration. Does she happen to know if there's going to be wine soon crossing our path?
She is eating and concentrating on the bread right now.
Look at this girl.
Speaking of concentrating, has it been 10 minutes yet?
For the identify or detect magic. Detect magic. Let's see. It has been 10 minutes, I guess. You've arrived on shore already, and you started walking back towards the Vistani camp. I'm guessing.
You cut out.
I'm guessing you're gonna be walking towards the Vistani camp.
Yes.
Okay. Because the 10 minutes wouldn't have gone by unless you're like already walking. Like it wouldn't have been 10 minutes just to get to shore.
Are you sure it's been 10 minutes so far?
Not yet. But once you arrive on shore, what are you gonna do with Bluto?
To the Vistani camp,
What?
I would assume. Aren't we heading back to the Vistani camp?
Your choice.
We're gonna go back to. I say we go back to the Vistani
wine.
camp.
They have wine and food. They're awesome people. I love the Vistani.
Okay, and so you're bringing Bluto with you to the Vistani?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. Rope him up. We rope him up. Is he already roped up?
He is not roped up, but he does not seem to be resisting in any way.
I think we should rope him up
I think
anyway.
we should rope him up anyways. Okay, if he's not gonna resist, let's rope him up.
Okay. He is roped, and you are walking.
You have to hold the rope.
Okay.
To the Vistani.
So you are walking back towards the Vistani camp. I'm gonna move you to it. Okay.
Let's
And
take her back to her father.
wait, that's not it. That's Vallaki. Where's Vistani camp?
All the way back already? Okay, cool.
Okay.
We're not listening to her voice anymore.
What?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
As long as you feed her, she's gonna stay silent.
Okay, cool.
For the sake of, like, brevity and such, can we just say my detect magic went off?
Yes. So your detect magic did.
Three things I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Number one, could I detect any kind of enchantment magic on Bluto?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
He is magic free.
The fishing pole then.
The same. Nothing special about it.
Okay, and then her.
Her.
Whatsoever?
Not that you can see, no. No aura, just regular kid as far as your senses can tell.
Alright. And this is concentration 10 minutes, so, could I theoretically have, I guess, held the spell until...
It would take you more than that to get to the Vistani camp. If you want, you can do it again when you feel that you're close enough to the camp that you want to take the 10 minutes to do another ritual.
I'll just, like, non-ritual cast the second one then. As we're walking through the forest.
Okay. So, as you're walking through the forest, like before you get to the camp?
Yeah, just kind of in the vein of, like, maybe finding that sun. It's blocked by 3 feet of dirt, so...
Yeah. You are not able to detect any signs. Or let's see. Do a perception check for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you're not able to detect anything.
Can we have her point out to where she thought the sun thing would be?
You can ask her. Yeah. Says.
So where did you see the sun, or where were you looking for?
Oh, it was further like in the forest, a little bit near like the little path in the forest, and then there's like a crossroads, like in that region. Uh, that's where I was looking. Anything else, you guys? Hello.
I'm just thinking.
Okay. All right. So
No, we're
as
just
you're approaching, there are some Vistanis that see you and see Arabelle. They come rushing in your direction. Um, Arabelle runs towards them, and there's this reunion. And um, making this short, you just follow her. You receive the tanks and all that. Then you're brought back towards to where Luvash and Arigal are. Sounds good?
Yep, sounds great.
Okay. By the way, you dismissed Kiran, right?
As an action, yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's temporary. It's not permanent.
Hmm.
But he's just not there right now.
Okay.
Kiran's a he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So, hey, Papa, I'm sorry. And you see her being like not afraid, but more like ashamed of what she made his her father go through, and a little bit afraid that she'd be scolded by her dad. But you see Luvash just give a big smile, rush up to her, and just hug her, say, "I was so worried about you. Where have you been? What happened?" And he turns to you and says, "What happened? Can you tell me?" Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ludo over here. So your daughter had a vision, and in her dream vision, whatever you want to call it, um, she was supposed to give us something, and she was kind of chasing after that. In the process, this Pluto guy kind of grabbed her. So we wanted to bring him in because we think something's a little off about this guy. We wanted to see if you guys had any experience with him and see if maybe there's some deal, something going on with him.
Are you saying this man took my daughter?
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yep.
Threw it right in the river. Lake.
Yeah, he tied her up in a sack and threw her in the lake to drown.
Which is really weird because if you kidnap someone for money or something, like why would you drown your bounty? But
He kidnapped her as a sacrifice. For good luck.
Okay.
His
So
his
for
spirit
every
has-
word, like he's been very silent. At every word you're saying, you can see like the anger boiling and just a vein almost popping in his forehead. Says, "All right."
He seems to not have his mind. His yeah, his mind.
He
Who seems to
is.
not have their mind? The guy? Oh, right. Okay.
Pluto or Pluto.
I thought you were talking about the dad, and I was like, what?
No. I'm telling your dad. He
Oh,
seems
okay,
to be, crazy.
Probably one of the soulless.
The Soros?
Yeah, some of these Barovians have no soul. They are just like this man, just blank. But thank you for saving my daughter and bringing this man here. We will
What are you
take
gonna
care
give
of him. That is none of your concern. just rest assured that he will not harm anyone ever again.
Can you tell us more what a soulless is?
Do Cloud do an intelligence check, just for fun? Hello.
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah,
What
Cloud.
do I do?
Intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Yeah.
For asking him?
Well, you asked the question, so I want you to do intelligence check.
I was like, why do I need to give you an intelligence check? Okay. Thank you. Just
You-
intelligence, right?
Yeah. Just listen to your DM.
I can't just listen. I'm very
So
Screen just went blank.
as you're asking the question, something kind of tickles you in the back of your mind, and you remember seeing someone with kind of a similar attitude, with just a blank stare and just going machinally through the motions. And that was the bartender in Barovia.
right.
And so as you're asking the question, you remember that and just like blinks in your mind. It says, Barovians, as far as we're concerned, none of them have souls. And that's as much as he answers, and he goes back to like looking at his daughter, making sure she's not hurt or anything. And she's like just pushing him away. I'm okay, leave me alone. I'm fine.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said that all Barovians are soulless.
He said, as far as I'm concerned, all Barovians have no soul.
But what does soulless mean?
Maybe
What is the
Strahd
difference?
took their soul or something.
These people seem to have like an actual, like they're like blank. They act differently than other people. What what else like this? But they weren't evil.
Did we? Was I there?
The bartender.
Oh,
No, you weren't.
yeah, I wasn't there.
You
Yeah.
weren't there yet.
So this isn't the first time we meet. You guys meet someone like this.
Ozzy, where is
Hello,
Ozzy?
nobody want to answer me?
Sorry, Ozzy asked me something.
No, I'm asking my players in the game. My characters
Yeah,
asking.
we saw someone like this at like the bar in Barovia
Yes.
Tavern.
We've met somebody similar to this.
Okay, that's okay.
Ozzy, I can't find your token, so it must have been deleted by accident, so I just put you back on the map. Okay.
He was a bartender, and he never responded to us in any way, shape, or form. He would pour us a drink, and that's it. He didn't speak.
So
He
he,
didn't acknowledge us. He was like a zombie.
what did he pour a drink in reaction to what you ordered, or
Yeah,
just as?
that's it.
So he could understand.
I guess. It was really weird.
We haven't tried to question the guy.
So you actually did try, and he was non-responsive to your questions. Luvash is still taking care of his daughter, and Arigal, his brother, says, "What you describe is what we call the soulless. You see, in Barovia, people cannot escape the mist that surround the valley. But also, when people die, their souls also cannot escape. And so, the number of souls in Barovia, there are not that many. And those who are prisoners here in Strahd's domain, they remain here forever, if they ever die. But also, When children are born, if there are no souls to inhabit them, the children are born without any souls.
Whoa.
And that is it is unfortunate, but it is needed for Barovia to survive with, labor and all that. If there were no soulless, this entire valley would die by underpopulation.
But is it typical for a soulless to be an alcoholic? Like, I mean, you're telling me that they just kind of do their task.
He starts laughing. He starts laughing. um, Sir, everybody in Barovia is an alcoholic. How do you think people can live their days without a little bit of wine? That is why not receiving the delivery from the Wizard of Wines is, I feel it's going to be problematic soon if it does not get resolved. I hope nothing bad is happening.
Oh man, that was great.
Did I cut off again, or because now it's
A
red?
little.
Yeah. So he said everyone is an alcoholic. Otherwise, how do you expect them to like live through their days in this cursed land? And that's also why deliveries of wine from the Wizard of Wines are so important to the survival of like the morale of the entire valley.
Okay, so but everyone else so these soulless, they seem to like act almost not like good or bad. They just act kind of neutrally. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
So this one in particular was acting poorly. Like it was bad. Like it was making bad decisions. It was like like going to like peeing everywhere. It was almost like belligerent.
That is
And
not a decision, that is just being drunk.
Yeah, peanut butter doesn't seem exactly evil.
Some Barovians believe that Vistani children are good luck charms. Maybe that is why he came after my niece.
Niece?
Yeah, you're talking to Arigal,
yeah,
the brother.
Yeah.
Oh, well, where's her dad?
He's
okay,
currently like checking her if she's hurt and scolding her a little and hugging her at the same time and
Okay.
so what do you plan to do with this guy?
do not worry. He does not give you
Didn't even tell
anything
me
else.
anything.
Eh, I'm not
So
gonna.
what happens when you kill a soulless? Does the body just kind of go away? Like does it just kind of like mulch?
It's normal body, just no soul.
Okay.
At this point, you see Luvash kiss his daughter on the forehead and stand up, turns back towards you, and says, "Ah, my friends, I am very grateful for what you did. Uh, come, come, follow me." And he goes towards. Let me see where he goes. Study camp. He goes towards this wagon. Do you
We're
see it?
following him. We're following him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he comes out uh, of there. He goes to this wagon, and him and his brother both take out a key, and they both unlock the wagon doors. Where inside you can see quite a few stuff, and he tells you this is the Vistani treasure. You can choose any one of these items you take, gift from us to thank you for what you did. And you can see there, there's 6 items inside of the wagon. There's a wooden chest, there's an iron chest, there's an onyx jewelry box with gold filigree, there is a wooden throne that has gold inlay and some decorative stones, and there is a rolled up 10-foot square rug that you cannot see the motif on it as it's currently rolled up. And there's also a much smaller wooden box.
I'm burning a spell slot to cast Detect Magic right now.
Okay.
I thought the deal we had was you were gonna give us like 7 potions.
I think this is
It's
better.
for the wine, though. Isn't it for the wine?
As you mentioned the wagon, the potion, he kind of laughs in a shameful manner and says, well, I may have overstated the power of those potions. They might not be as potent as you were led to believe.
Please continue.
Continue what?
What do you mean they're not as potent? What did they do?
They were watered down.
They're watered down.
Yeah.
You can't leave with the potion.
He doesn't find. He doesn't really know what to say. So.
What did they
Answer,
do?
don't answer.
All right.
I'm not being unfriendly though. I'm kind of just like, you
Well,
know,
I am.
jabbing
We've
it a
been
little
led
bit.
to. We just, yeah, I am being unfriendly. I'm being mean and
Offering us. He's
There's
offering
some-
another gift. This could have gone completely different. He admitted that they weren't that way, and he's offering us another choice.
Oh,
He
I
He
also-
lied to us to do his.
He
to work for. Hey, if you work for something, it's not okay just because they give you something else. I mean, sure, thanks for something else, but that's still not what we were working for. Those potions were our way out. It's kind of a big deal.
Why are they the way out?
Because they
They
would allow you to leave
the
the.
mist.
Yeah, it's kind of a big freaking lie.
I just want to. Can I give a quick backstory, real quick?
1 second. Let me just reply to Sam. Liam does not detect anything magical in any of those boxes or the rug.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sorry.
So my character is like really into legends and story and like tales, basically. Like that's
Yeah.
one of her quirks.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of I'm kind of playing into the my like of the Vistani because I'm just so interested in learning about their stories because they have like hundreds of years of history, right? And so that's kind of where my like natural affinity for the Vistani comes in addition to the fact that they like
They
sort
what?
of nomadic people.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I just have this natural affinity. So even when like something terrible like this goes wrong, that's why I'm kind of playing like still a friendly like, oh hey, no problem, buddy. You know.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The potion talk came from the fact that we were asking him how were they able to leave and come back. So we still
Right.
don't know how they're able to leave and come back.
You actually do know that, as that was answered at Serpul.
This is me talking as like Nara, but as my character, she's completely like starry-eyed around the Vistani.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not gonna like pursue anything.
No, I'm still angry and I'm still gonna like I was still like
Right.
asking him what do the potions do and I didn't get an answer.
He's not going to answer you because you can guess that the potions are fake and they're there just to like take money from gullible people. And now that they are indebted to you and really happy about you found and save Arabelle, which he didn't even expect you guys to do. Now he feels like you're sort of part of the family, kind of. you're friends of the Vistani, and he's not gonna sell you fake potions. Um, but if you try and push it, he's just ashamed a little bit, and he's not gonna want to like answer you too much. Like,
Well then,
yeah, they're not as potent. They don't always work. He's evasive every time.
how do you guys leave and come back if not for the potions?
That is something that was answered to you guys when you were in Serpul, and he would repeat the same answer by saying that centuries ago the Vistani had helped Strahd in a moment.
Cut out.
I said centuries.
Because they helped Strahd, and Strahd gave them permission to leave, so they can just naturally do it.
Yes.
Right.
Anyone, those who enter and leave, it's all because Strahd wants them to be able to. And since the Vistani helped helped Strahd centuries ago, he gave them that favor as you can all come and go as you please. So the Hanu is going for the iron chest.
No way. No way. I'm watching that. No way.
No, we're not. We're all there. You'd have to choose sleight of hand out because we're all there. Ain't nobody taking shit.
The Hanu, you can speak, right?
I thought we were.
It's a gift, but it's not yours to take.
I don't intend on stealing it. I thought he was giving it to us.
No, but
We get
between us.
one.
Yeah, and Luvash says yes. You may choose one of these items, and
One for the whole group?
yes.
What?
Okay, tell us again what they are.
So you have
An iron chest, an onyx jeweled something.
jewelry box, a wooden throne, a rolled up rug, and a small wooden box.
Can I
You're
just
gonna tell us
clarify?
what's in them?
No, I'm not gonna tell you what's in them.
Oh,
Wait.
He just tells you choose one, and it will be yours.
Wooden throne?
Yeah.
You mean like a chair? Like
No, it's a wooden throne with gold inlay and decorative stones. It's the very fancy wooden throne.
It's like like human size, like it's an actual throne.
What
Yes.
are you gonna do with that?
How are we gonna carry that?
Can he give us a hint as to which of these items would be best divine?
Do a
It's all about the monetary value, though. So
Yeah.
we can sell whatever we get.
yeah.
My initial reaction is that chests typically contain coinage. Are we allowed to pick these up at all?
No, he looks at you and smiles and says, "You look, you choose, you take one item."
Alright.
Would you be willing to give us some history on these
Yeah.
items?
What about we use the main hand and look at each item without touching it?
That's no good.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. All right, choose.
He won't
My
give
vote
us
is the wood chest.
I agree, Sam.
The small one or the large one?
The chests are similar size.
There's one small one. You said.
Yeah, there's a very small one, and then there's the bigger wooden chest.
I vote for the jewel box.
Kind of want to go for the jewelry box. Yeah.
I would
Well,
go
actually-
for the
Jewelry box is harder to divide.
Typical women, eh?
It's not my
Pretty-
response. I went with the wood box.
I
Okay,
kind
so
of want to
that's
go
three
for
votes-
the small.
three
The
votes
thing
for
is, I would.
Oh,
I
so
kinda
the
wanna
wooden
go-
chest or the wooden box, guys? How about everybody votes in chat?
just a Google poll.
Yeah, everyone vote in chat. Then you make your decision because Luvash is starting to get a little bit annoyed at your indecisiveness.
You have to say, do you want the wooden box or the wooden chest?
I wanted to get the wooden chest, like the small one, but knowing our DM, I feel like it's gonna be something really shitty inside. I'm not.
There's wooden chest, iron chest, jewelry box, wooden throne, rolled up rug, and a very small wooden box. Well, not very small, but like a smaller wooden box.
Then you have to pick which wooden box you want. The box or the chest? Or the throne?
Wood chest.
There's also the iron chest and the jewelry box.
Sorry, sorry. Yael actually plays. Forget what Sarah said.
Okay. All right. So did everyone vote? Let's see. You have one, two,
Dylan said just wood.
He said wooden chest.
3.
What about Azzy?
Doesn't matter. The wood chest won. Because I want the
Chest-
rug.
Okay.
You want the rug? Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you had chosen jewelry box, it would be 3 versus 3. So.
That's the thing.
But he wants the rug. So
He was the okay.
I
Okay,
want
so
this.
you all decide on the wooden chest, and you tell that to Luvash, and says, "Excellent choice." Smiles, grabs the wooden chest, brings it to like the front of the wagon, opens it up, and you can see in it quite a bit of Electrum piece coins, all with stamped with the profiled visage of Strahd. And he tells you, you will find in this 1,200 electron pieces.
Wow. Okay, that's not bad.
I hope you use them wisely.
1,200
And there are electrums.
electrum
Yes.
pieces.
Yes.
So that's half.
But wait, they got Strahd's face on them.
That's 171.4 each.
Yeah, most coins in this world will have Strahd's face on them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 600 gold pieces. You know what? You're actually 7 people, so let's make
Wait,
that
I thought
1,400,
electrum was half gold.
just to make it nicer for everyone to divide.
Wait,
Okay,
say
so
what?
everybody gets 200 then?
Yeah, everybody got 200 gold
Pieces?
electron pieces.
200
Yeah,
electrum pieces.
100
Yeah.
gold.
So it's about 100 100 gold.
Okay.
And
So I'm adding 100 gold to my sheet.
Can't.
And
Yeah,
200 electrum.
it has to be electrum.
200 electrum, or it's kind of the same.
Oh, we can't.
Ye-
We can just do it that way. You don't have to trade them in.
Yeah, you kind of have, but I mean, you're going to assume that people will most probably have
There's
have
an
change.
icon for Electrum. It doesn't change anything to add to it either.
Hmm.
Might as well.
It changes coin weights only ever so slightly, but yeah. 100 gold versus 200 electrum is 1 pound difference.
Oh yeah, right. The weight. Sure.
I think we will.
Wait.
Thanks,
What-
Sam.
Which is it? Did we
when are
find electrum or did we find gold?
Electrum.
Found
Electrum
electrum.
is between silver and gold. It's the thing that says EP.
All right.
Okay.
And with that, he closes back the wagon, invites you for lunch, and says, "You are our humble guests, and once your belly is full and my Arabelle is rested, I will allow her to escort you, with her own escort, of course, to wherever she says she dreamed of a son."
Okay.
And with that, you go to grab some food. And since you've made some new friends during the eating, first of all, there's plenty of Vistanis that are coming back to camp at this point. Every hour there's a few that are coming back and are overjoyed by finding Arabelle back to safety. So you're all eating and drinking. That will make Nara, or rather Cloud, very happy.
Allows the wine.
And you're also able to exchange some stories and learn about some of the stuff from like the land of Barovia, their various beliefs and superstitions and things like that. I will, because there's like a lot of stuff, a lot of lore, so I will pick stuff up and give you that written for next week, since we have like 10 minutes left, more or less, for today. Okay? And with that, you finish eating, you're invigorated, you're happy, Arabelle with 3 Vistani escorts. She brings you to the forest, and she tries to remember what she's seen. You can see her, just jumping around, very, very happy, and like she's going on an adventure, basically. Eventually, she finds a spot and says, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, dig here, dig here!" And you all start digging, and you dig, and you dig. After 10 minutes, she says, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, dig here instead!" And you do that for about an hour before eventually, like 20 holes all around the area, you find something.
Oh.
You dig up this sort of large amulet that looks like silvery with a ruby in the center of it. And it has spikes all around it that makes it look, like spikes, kind of. That makes it look, yes, that makes it look like a sun.
Oh, it's pretty.
Wow.
And from the inscriptions, the runes that are in it, it does seem to have some kind of religious signification. It seems to have a religious signification. It's some kind of holy symbol.
Can I make a religion check?
A religion check.
Wouldn't
What it's
Iron want to do
dedicated to?
that?
Yes, you can do that.
We both probably could.
You and Iron, I would assume. Yeah. Do a religion check. Sure. Yeah. Looking at it, you are immediately reminded of symbolisms that you've seen in people.
Color?
What?
Is this color?
No. The Morning Lord.
Yeah, that's color.
If you say so. I think you know more about the Lord than I do.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Morning Lord symbol. And yeah. And what do you want to do at this point? Oh yeah, Annabelle is super happy. You see, I told you, I never lie, and my dreams are awesome. Yay! Found it.
Put her back in the bag.
Did she just say pound it?
She said, "Put her back in the bag." Did you say that out loud by any chance?
No, that was the Sarah talking.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at Liam like a little strangely because I wasn't really getting like a whole lot of like cleric or religious, like how like Iron and Azzy are really outwardly paladins and clerics.
Yeah.
I wasn't really getting that vibe from Liam, so I'm just kind of looking at him a little weird. I'm wondering if he's gonna say anything.
But did he share the information with us?
Yeah.
No.
I see a reason not to.
So what is it exactly? I didn't get it.
It's a holy symbol. Those of the faith use these to cast spells through. It's a connection to a deity.
Ah. Well, it's not that weird that a wizard would know that,
as well.
right?
It's similar to how I would use an arcane focus.
Yeah, it's pretty normal that he's not that kind of normal-ish.
What Iron
Well,
say?
it's less normal that I know the specific deity it's dedicated to, but
Which is
the Morning Lord.
which is
It's the name of the god, basically.
Yeah.
The god of the morning, kind of the sun. That's why it's in the shape of a sun.
yeah.
Yeah.
But why is it here? Is that like a god of this area?
Not just of this
I
area.
really like stories and
We've seen some people worshipping this already.
Yes,
Vampires.
it
If
is.
you recall, back in Irina's house, there was various symbols dedicated there.
Yeah, and the church, the guy that then committed suicide because you destroyed his son, He was a priest of the Morning Lord. He told you so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're like all about the sun because this is fucking vampire hell. Makes sense.
Yeah. You have you have two main deities here, Morning Lord and the Midnight Mother.
Okay.
Who picked it up?
Good question. Who wants to pick it up?
I'm
Because Arabelle is not doing any digging. She's just pointing and letting you do the work.
I would say that
I'm
Sammy
drawn
picked
to
it.
it.
He seemed very zealous.
Who?
I would
I
have said
guess I'll
Sammy
take it.
picked it up.
I'm
I just
definitely
wanted
very
to look
drawn
at
to
it,
it because
but
can I keep it?
No. You don't get to
No,
touch it.
definitely not.
Why not?
Because I'll never fucking see it again.
Have
think
I
it'll just be a
stolen
pocket-
anything from you?
I think.
Hell if I know.
Yeah, I don't trust you enough not to. So.
Well, you're not the one with it right now, so
I think Sammy has it, right?
exactly. And Sammy trusts me, so
All right.
I feel like me Sammy
So,
really off the right answer.
Who is currently holding on to it?
Liam has
I
it in
guess
his
I
hand
will.
right now.
Okay, so it's Liam.
So what are we
Okay.
gonna do with it? Are we gonna give it to her or are we keeping it?
She says. Well, what would she say?
What would she say?
What would she say? Yeah, she's still jumping up and down, saying, "See, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you." Then says, "Well, thank you for helping me, and I guess that's your reward." And she's laughing, and says, she looks at Yaila and whispers to her, "And thanks again for the bread."
You're very welcome.
And bye bye. And she just goes sauntering back towards the camp, with the Vistanis just nodding in your direction, saying thank you again, and going to follow her.
Cloud gives Azzy a meaningful look.
And just as a side note, she really wants to pat Cloud on the head and say, "Nice kitty," and before she leaves, but she's not gonna do that.
God.
She is a smart little kid, all right.
what? Saying she's smart enough to not go up to random people and touch them without warning?
Yeah.
Wow.
But she's a kid and she just saw two cats talking to her and she's happy.
Good. Little backstory. So Cloud knows Azzy from the first, like this whole time I've been with Azzy, and so he's somebody that I trust a lot, and I also know that he's like a paladin, right? So
Yeah.
he's a very, very like good, honest, and also religious type. And so I'm kind of giving him like it's kind of hard to explain, but like
Like a telling glance.
yeah, like hey, are you gonna say something? Or
Ozzy, how do you respond?
This trinket kind of it doesn't look right. I don't know what to do with it.
It doesn't look right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I
You
don't.
right there.
Why the raven is Strahd's bird, or it's his symbol.
right.
So what worries me is this might be something related to him.
What?
It's not
Was
a
there
raven. though.
was
not a
there any
raven,
raven insignia on it at
I
all?
thought there was on the picture.
Because it's called the holy symbol.
You don't know its
You
name.
don't know the name.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that pisses me off about the module, because when I was taking care of the stuff myself, I would make sure that the title of the handout is, as vague as what you would know initially. But for them, like, even if I just show you someone's face, suddenly it also has the name of the person, even though you don't know their name yet.
Pre-cut them.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, but it's just I don't want to go through all that work anymore.
It's a lot of work for him to go through and cut
Yeah,
every
remind me.
picture
Did I
of
say-
No,
everything
even
he
if
might
he cuts
encounter.
it, the handout itself has a name to it.
Yeah, and change the hand. Actually, there was one person at some point that you might meet that its picture itself has a spoiler, so I had to go look for a different one.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I had to go look for a different one, but the others I'm not. I'm just not gonna bother. I'm just gonna tell you.
Gotcha.
Imagine that you don't know the name of the thing.
Just know it's a
Uh,
holy symbol of the morning lord.
Yeah.
That's all we know. Because it's in the shape of a sun, that's what we know.
mhm.
Okay. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
a holy relic from the name or from the morning lord might be useful against a vampire, no?
Well, it doesn't do anything if we can't cast spells
Yeah.
from it,
That's what I
right?
was kind of
It's
thinking.
like it kind of gives you
Like
power.
people can do that, no?
Not if they're not linked to the deities.
It's a holy symbol, so anyone who can use a holy symbol uh, as a magical focus can use it. By the way,
This doesn't really add much that it's from a specific god, right?
you don't know. You don't know it.
We
We haven't detected
holy
magic.
relics can
We
be
haven't
very
detect-
very powerful. We just need to be very careful with them.
Well, we could do detect magic on see if there is actually anything special about this thing, but I don't think we've done that yet, right?
You could do that as well.
Liam, do you want to do that for like 10 minutes?
For
Not
fourth
this.
time today.
This would be the fourth time that I would be casting this spell today. I'd rather honestly get back to town. What time is it? After the eating and the walk back. And
Well, actually, didn't we still want to ask that I don't, the dark elves or whatever they're called, dusk elves. There was a guy that knew more about them. If we had more questions and we never went to see him.
I suppose I'm just concerned it's getting a little close to sundown.
And what time is it?
Yeah. So you had arrived at the lake around noon. By the time that you got to Arabelle, the slow walk back with someone in tow, I would have said maybe an hour of walking, a little bit more, plus the eating and all that. So I would say it's maybe around 3, 4 p.m. right now.
What's
Um,
sundown?
Sundown, I would set sundown around 6. That's what I've had in
So it's
mind.
like early evening right now.
Yeah, you have like a couple of hours before sundown.
Okay.
I'd say we have time. I mean, do we want to?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other. I'm not
Me
opposed
neither. I don't really
to
care, but I
checking
think
magic
Cloud
simply.
really wanted to know more.
I want to know more about this thing.
All right.
And
One
anything
note.
like history, I'm really interested in.
Who? What?
I said anything that has to do with like history or lore or anything like that, I'm really interested.
Okay. So you want to go talk to Dusk Elves, basically, right? To get their history, or
Well,
did I
want to
misunderstand
know about
something?
this medallion too. Both. I want to do both things.
Okay. About
We
this
don't really have
medallion.
anything to do to know more about the medallion right now, though. Before going to the city. Hello?
Yeah. What was the question?
It wasn't a question. She said, I want to know more about the medallion, but the question, like, they're not going to tell us anything here. What are you
They
going to ask?
probably
What
wouldn't.
do you want to do, basically?
They might know something about it. We don't know.
Maybe.
I
But
mean,
like in reality, what are we doing? You can't just say, "I want to know more." What are we doing? Who are we talking to? Where are we going?
Note that the session has been running for 2 hours, so we're like in the closing of it right now.
Okay. This is
So
gonna
like
be
even if
nice.
you want to go to the
I-
Dusk Elves, it's gonna be for next week.
Good ending, yeah.
Yeah.
I had something that I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to head back to the city and not cut it close on timing.
Okay. What is it?
I mostly just wanted to make a quick stop to the stockyard, see if they had a pearl I could spend this 200 elect.
Since you've already been to the stockyard and you know that they don't have anything that would cost more than 25 gold pieces, right?
That's a good point.
So you would assume they wouldn't.
It's not necessarily adventuring gear. It's just a pearl. You know, it's a jeweler shop or something.
Okay. Okay. I'll work that into next week.
You already
As
have
soon
the
as I
information.
can, 8 hours. It's gonna take me to I need to get find food and herbs, and I have enough money now to summon my wolf. But I figured that would be for next time.
Yeah. Also for next
Ooh,
time,
la,
you
la,
are
la.
all leveling up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I was
And
actually just gonna comment on that. That it's been like a long time, even like inordinately long. It's been like 6 sessions since I've been in.
Since you've been
before the level up,
Yeah.
you know why?
Because we're slow.
I
Because
haven't done anything.
well, one because you're slow, and second because Madame Ava told you something about the Vistani have what you seek. A missing child holds the key to the treasure's location. No, to the treasure's release. And you arrived in town that says, "Hey, there's a Vistani camp right here," and you said, "We're not gonna go there until 5 sessions from now." That's also one. And you level up at milestones. This one was a big milestone. And you haven't done anything in the city, really.
Let's just go to the starting camp when the guards wanted to tell us off from the city. So we're just really.
Now I'm
excited
reading the
about that.
cards too.
Yeah, now you're reading the cards. I mean, that was last week. You had the pre-game notes that says reread your notes.
No, we talked about it last session. We were like, oh, we could check out what the cards say, but we didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
We just didn't.
yeah. But yeah, if you had seen that and also figured that they had some kind of importance, um, now you're wondering, oh, maybe the clues are actually really important for us. But yeah, you hear Vistani, you know there's a Vistani camp near. It should be kind of your first destination.
I
Um,
just appreciate it if you just tried to make it a little more obvious for us.
well, I gave you. Here are all your options.
Yeah.
Dylan's
But
like,
yeah.
can you just fucking tell us how to play this game?
Well, I'm telling you how to play the game. I just the problem is I can't tell you much more because I know everything. I know all the spoilers. So if I will be biased either way, right? Because you have multiple options, and I'm trying to like steer you in the right direction, but I maybe where I want to steer you is not necessarily what you guys want to do either, you know? So, and I don't want to tell you, oh, you should do this, um, or watch out for this place because then I'm playing the game for you while knowing the spoilers, right? So,
That's true. That's true.
so that's why I'm trying to like remain neutral, and the only way that I'm giving you like different pushes and hints and things like that is by like having someone in game
Remind you.
come up to you, remind you, say something, tell you, oh, you smell something, or oh, you see something, or that's what I'm trying to do, but I can't. I'm trying to avoid making it too obvious either, right? So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
gotcha.
It-
We're all still kind of new. I think a lot of us don't. Well, except for Sammy, but
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that we quite understand when something important happens or when something special is said yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we don't quite remember everything too, because we're also trying to remember all the things that we're supposed to already know.
Hmm? Yeah,
Since
you.
we're learning at the same time,
Yeah.
we're also remembering everything else.
Yeah, that's why I tell you take notes of everything that you hear that might seem like strange, like a name or some information, something that you hear. Like for example, the soulless in earlier's conversation, that would be something that needs to be in your notes, right? So that next time, and that's why you also need to review your notes so you get back into the like the game, you remember the thing that your character has just heard like 10 minutes before, technically in world, and things like that.
Yeah, I have my notes, but I have to admit I don't reread them.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna spend an hour reading them, right?
I have like 15 minutes before we start
Yeah.
after I come home from school and eat. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Just
have a lot of time.
just look at them. What I like to do is in the notes, especially with Roll20, is that like each note would be one sentence, and I would take the one important word in that sentence and put it in bold. So I would just scan through my notes and just read one word per line and know exactly what that line would be talking about. Right? It's just like a refresher, basically. So that helps speed it up.
Okay, cool. Well, is this where we're ending it? We're just pausing here?
Well, yeah, I guess. You were all still discussing what to do with that symbol thing. Liam decided to grab it.
There's a lot of different things we want to do.
Yeah, knowing us, it's gonna take us half an hour to decide what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just pause here, I guess, then.
Okay, sounds good.
My guess is like figure out what you want to do immediately for next session ahead of time, like in between when you level up as well. I know exactly what I'm gonna be doing, so yeah.
Yeah, same. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I still have to read up on feats because I just found
Are we
out
gonna
about that.
level up at all
Okay.
yet? Or
You
no?
just said we level up
Yeah.
next week.
Oh,
Yep.
we do level up next week.
Yeah. Next week you'd be level 4.
Level 4.
Actually, you can come at any time during the week on Roll20 and just roll for hit dice and all that. There is a handout, if you remember, under player notes that tells you everything you need to do for leveling up. Like, don't forget your hit dice and check whatever, like increase your maximum and current HP and all that stuff that you need to do. So do check that. And you can just do it. So we begin. You already have your new HP and all that stuff.
So basically, we already leveled up. We just haven't had time to do it.
Yes, as you touch the amulet, there you all felt suddenly invigorated and you leveled up. We'll play it that way.
Okay.
All right. For reasons, I'm just going to I like to have you level up during long rest, but I'm not gonna do it for today.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Alright, that was
Cool.
really fun. Thank you.
Great job, everyone.
We actually
Thanks.
did
It was
things.
fun. Yes, you did. I was trying to like move you along as much as possible. So yeah, seems to have you accomplished something in 2 hours. But you know, it's funny because when you look at it, in 2 entire hours, you follow the trail. You spent an hour trying to look through a window to see if this empty house had someone in it, and then and
5 minutes.
I'm sure it was more than 5 minutes, but yeah, it definitely wasn't an hour. And then you rushed to the lake, grabbed the girl, and then went back to the camp, had food, grabbed some treasure, and that's it.
Sorry, you cut out, so I thought you were done. Apparently not.
It's
You
okay.
cut out in the middle of your sentence.
Okay. That's okay. I wasn't saying anything interesting anyway.
Okay. But I was saying that because you know what's going on, so for you it's like, oh, you guys should forget to check for traps, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. But when we do it, you're like, oh my god, you guys wasted so much time on this.
No,
We're like, what if there was a trap?
No, I'm not thinking that you wasted time on it. I was actually really happy that you were looking for traps and looking for alternative ways of knowing if there is someone inside. It was really smart work. It was because if it was a trap, if there was someone waiting for you in there, it would have gone really bad if you had rushed into it. So you really did everything good. What?
I kind of like it. My character kind of wanted to. I just wanted to go in.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll do that. Sometimes you'll waste time trying to be careful, and it's a good thing. Sometimes you won't be careful because you forget, and that's gonna be a bad thing. But no, it was good. I think you approached that not knowing what was going to be in that little house. You approached it really well. So I have no complaints on that. So yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Fun session.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I was trying to push you that way for a while because I had lots of rumors about Bluto.
Cut out.
Okay.
You were trying to push us that way for a while?
Cause you hear me now or still not? Okay. Because I had rumors planned out for Bluto to hear about him in the tavern, but you weren't trying to listen to anybody. And you weren't engaged in anyone's conversation. Like the barman, the first time you would talk to her, she would give you that information, but still, like, so I was trying to push you towards the at least the lake without knowing, without going to the Vistani camp. You would just go to the lake and find him or something like that. But anyway,
Yeah. If I didn't see him with Kieran there, my next thought was to, well, if he's an alcoholic, then check at the bar, see if anybody's seen him there recently.
yeah,
Follow the alcoholic trend.
yes, and doing that, you would have heard that you haven't seen him. They haven't seen him for a week or something like that. He hasn't been having a lot of luck fishing, and usually you would find him in the lake fishing from dawn to till dusk, something like that. That's the information you would have gotten at the tavern. But yeah, and actually, Kieran, just with your perception, it allowed you to see that there was something in the boat. Otherwise, you were supposed to just automatically see him. It's not very difficult to see him on the lake, but you wouldn't have seen that there was something with him. Usually, I don't know if I caught again. I think I did. But yeah. But yeah, I said you would have seen him either way, even like with a natural one almost. It's just your perception with Kieran allowed you to see that there was a burlap sack in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not something you would have seen if you had come on foot from shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bird's eye view is great.
Yeah, it's cool. It gives so much possibilities. Alright.
In regards to that, but that's semantics and can go later.
Mhm. What?
So,
We'll hop out, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
I will, yes.
I gotta watch it. It's
I
hilarious.
will. I'll watch it right now.
Watch what?
It's a WoW clip.
Oh, okay. So what were you saying, Sammy?
Oh, I was just kind of wondering if, like, say if I were to change Kieran's form via the spell,
Mm-hmm.
if, say, into an owl, could I then pick one of his feathers and use it as an owl feather for, like, spell reagent?
Ooh. Mm, I don't think so. I don't think so because when he dies, he poofs out of existence. So I would assume his feather would poof out of existence as well. Because he's not an actual owl, he's a fae or whatever in the shape of, yes. So yeah, that's what I would do. But what spell do you need that requires a feather owl, an owl's feather?
Good to know.
What spell do you need that requires that?
Identify requires an owl feather. So.
It doesn't have any cost though, does it?
I suppose that's true. Yes, it requires a pearl worth 100 gold and an owl feather. So
Oh, okay.
I suppose I forgot about the arcane focus thing, but
Hmm. Yeah, so it's just a pearl that you would need for 100 gold pieces.
which is why I was going to look in
Yeah, now I see where you were going with the pearl thing. Yeah, but wouldn't spending a short rest with an object give you basically the same thing as identify? That's my understanding.
It's like that, but in the process you attune to it, I believe.
No, you have one short rest to figure out its magical properties, and then one short rest to attune to it.
That seems really kind of janky. I've always seen it as you do both at the same time, like you figure out about the item while you're attuning to it, which can be a little dangerous in the circumstance of curses, so Like, that's why I want to have identify regardless.
Okay, so it says here magical items, attunement. It says attuning to an item requires a creature to spend a short rest focused on only that item while being in physical contact with it. And between parentheses, it says this can't be the same short rest used to learn the item's properties. And from that, I figured that you can learn the item's properties, which is the same as identify, by spending a short rest with it. Which is why what makes me wonder, having 100 gold piece worth pearl sounds like a very expensive price for a spell that just gives you something you can do for free during a short rest.
I mean, I suppose, but that takes like all the danger out of curses 9 times out of 10, because you find out about the item being cursed, like, just in that short rest.
Okay.
So, I've always viewed it as, you know, if nothing else, it also saves time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get a lot of things in one instance,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not something
Yeah.
that I feel like is going to happen in this campaign.
Yeah.
Given the flow of loot so far, but it's,
Oh, this is a campaign with an extraordinarily large magic